Good morning, everyone. Today I will be providing you with a mini lesson on ratios. Let's take a look at what a ratio is. A ratio is a comparison between two objects or things. Basically, it's a comparison between two numbers. One of the most important things you will need to know is how to write a ratio. So the first way to write a ratio is with the word 2. The second way to write a ratio is to write it with a symbol called a colon. And the third way to write a ratio is to write it as a fraction. So let's go ahead and take a look at a video that I put together for you all. All right, good morning everybody and welcome to Wednesday's CATS math video. This morning we are going to be learning a mini lesson, and that mini lesson today will be on ratios. In math class you've heard about the word ratio. It came up in one of our benchmark assessments, and the word ratio is basically a comparison between two items. Okay, so a ratio is a comparison between two items. So let's go ahead and take a look at some examples. So as I mentioned, a ratio compares, so it is a comparison between two items. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, you all are going to realize that this is actually an extremely easy concept to understand. The first thing that we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at these young people, and my question to you is going to be, what is the ratio of boys to girls? Okay, so as you heard me say boys to girls. Okay, so whenever we do this, we always look at what it's asking us first. And on this example, it is asking us for boys first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the picture and I'm going to identify the number of boys. So here is 1 boy, 2 boys, 3 boys, and 4 boys. So we have a total of 4 boys. Girls are asked for second, so that will represent our second number. In looking at the picture, we can clearly see that there are 1 and 2 girls. So our second number would be 2. Now the thing we need to understand about a ratio is that there are 3 ways to write a ratio. The first way is to write it with the word 2. So we would say 4, 2, 2. The second way to write a ratio is to use a colon. So we would say 4, 2, 2. However, you're going to notice that this time we used a symbol, and hopefully in language arts you've been taught that this particular symbol is called a colon. And the third way to write a ratio is to write it as a fraction. So again, 4 is on top, we have our fraction line, 2 is on the bottom. So we would read this as 4, 2, 2. Okay? So I'm going to read those to you again, and as I'm reading them, I want you to listen for the word that I say all three ways. 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2. Okay, did you catch that? So yes, you're correct. Every time I read the ratio, no matter what way I wrote it, I did read it with the word 2. Okay? Let's take a look at another example. In this example, I have two different shapes. I have stars and I have hearts. Okay? So my question to you is, let's find the ratio of stars to total shapes. Okay, so again, stars to total shapes. All right, so the first thing I'm going to ask you all is, what are we looking for first? That's right, we're looking for stars. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the example and I'm going to count the number of stars. So I see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So our first number will be a 5. Let's go ahead and write that down. And then the second thing that it's asking for is the total shapes. It's not asking for hearts, it's asking for total shapes. So let's go ahead and count the total. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the total shapes is 9. So let's go ahead and write this all three ways. The first way, again, is to write it with the word 2. The second way is to write it with a colon. And the third way is to write it as a fraction. Okay? So it looks like our answer would be 529. With the colon, we would read it as 529. And as a fraction, we would read it as 529. Okay? I told you it was pretty easy. Let's go ahead and look at our last example. In this example, we have a plate of cookies, and the cookies are in different sports shapes. Okay? So in this example, I would like you to find the ratio of soccer and football to basketball. Okay? So again, soccer and football to basketball. I'm going to give you a minute to take a look at this. And let's go ahead and get to work. So I see the word 2 in there. And before the word 2, I see that it says soccer and football. So the word and is a linking word, which means that I'm going to count my soccer and footballs. So we're going to combine those. So looking at the picture, it looks like I have a soccer ball there. 1, 2, 1 and 2 footballs. So 2 soccer balls and 2 footballs put me at a total of 4 soccer and footballs. Now let's look at the number of basketballs. So in looking at the picture, I see 1 and 2 basketballs. So my second number will be 2. Now I'd like for you to think of the 3 ways we're going to write this ratio. So the first way is to write it with the word 2, and we would read it as 4, 2, 2. The second way is to write it with a symbol, also known as the colon, and we still read it as 4, 2, 2. And the last way is to write it as a fraction, 4 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and we read it as 4, 2, 2. Okay? So again, if you notice, a ratio is a comparison between 2 items, always involves two numbers. The first number represents what is being asked for first, and the second number is what is being asked second. There are three ways to write a ratio, which is to use the word to use a symbol called the colon, or to write it as a fraction. Okay? All right. So what's going to happen now is you all are going to see a series of PowerPoint slides. And at the top of the PowerPoint slide, it's going to tell you what ratio you are looking for. Okay? So at the top, it might say blue to red. You're going to analyze the picture, and based on the picture, you will write the ratio for what is being asked. Okay? So you're going to see a picture. You're going to identify the ratio and write it all three ways. And then the next slide will give you the answer to that picture. Okay? I hope you all do a great job, and be ready, because Thursday and Friday in Kat's class, we will be working more with ratios. Thank you. Okay, you all, let's take a look at this picture again. I'm a little confused. I don't know if you all saw anything confusing, but I did. I know that Mrs. Wyman is married and has 2 children. She's got a daughter, Bella, and a son, Eli. But I'm not sure what's up with that 5th pair of shoes all the way to our right. Do you guys see them? I think we need to go talk to Mrs. Wyman. Okay, so this is Mrs. Alfaro again, and what we're doing is I'm going to go to Miss Wyman's room because I'm trying to figure out what that last picture meant. I know that she's married, I know that there's her, and I know that she has 2 kids, Bella and I believe Eli. So I'm trying to figure out why there's an extra pair of shoes in there. So let's go talk to Miss Wyman, see what she has to say, trying to figure out why she's trying to confuse me and make my day and my life harder today. Hold on, we're almost there. Turning the hallway. As you see, there's a student in front of me. We're almost there, we're almost there. All right, let's see. Okay. Oh, look, there they are. So, Ms. Wyman, I was noticing that on the video today, there were 3 pairs of kids' shoes. So I'm kind of curious as to what is going on here.
That's correct. Actually, I was just going to tell Miss Reynolds and Miss Abler about it. Do you want to come see our game?
Sure,
Okay,
go for
so
it.
we have it up here. They've already been working on it, so we have to figure out the rest of the puzzle.
Oh, it's
They
like
need to take a
Hangman.
seat. Yes.
Okay.
Kids know I love Hangman.
Oh, so Miss Abler
It
and
was
Miss Reynolds
Miss-
is going to be a winner here.
That's right. Miss Reynolds, it was her turn. Miss
And I
Reynolds?
just said why, so you have to put the.
Oh. That's it. W-Y. Right there. Miss Abler? M.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Miss Reynolds?
Z.
No Z's.
Oh, let's look at this. See if any of you kids can figure out what this might say.
Miss Alfaro, you want to try a letter?
Let's try a B.
That might give it away. Anyone
Oh
gonna
my
guess
gosh.
it?
Mrs. Wyman's having a baby!
What? Oh my God, Miss Wyman's having a baby. Take a look at that, you all. Oh, look at it. So super exciting, right, Miss
You,
Wyman?
That's right.
Awesome. Well, we're excited for you, and
you.
we can't wait to share in this journey with you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Let's
Thanks,
look at that
guys.
again, boys and girls. So actually, I am going to say this. I've known about this little secret, but we have something else that we want the CATS classes to do. Mrs. Wyman, and you guys are going to have to be good listeners because you can't see me, she found a statistic online. And the statistic was that for every 100 boys born, there are 108 girls born. So if we look at this, and yes, we just talked about how important order is. So let's have Miss Wyman flip those numbers. Flip those numbers, Miss Wyman. Just the numbers, 100 to 108. So based on what you all learned in your CATS video today, you do know that this would be red. Oh, maybe Miss Alfaro was wrong. Okay, so there it is. So her statistic found, scratch what I said earlier, her statistic found that for every 100 girls born around the world, there are 108 boys born. So if you notice, there's a little more boys that are born per girls. So what we would like for all of the CATS classes to do is we would like for all of you to take a guess and as a class decide if you think Miss Wyman is having a girl or if Miss Wyman is having a boy. And I would like for all of the CATS teachers to email me with your class vote. And then hopefully in a couple of months, if Miss Wyman chooses to find out the gender, maybe we can find out which CATS classes were correct. So thank you all, and great job on the math video today. Make sure that when you see Mrs. Wyman today, you give her a big hug or a nice high five. All right, we'll see you next week. Thank you.